Are you Shaun Hollingworth?
I am.
Let me ask you a question. I've just recently reviewed Soccer Kid
Oh,
Pac Mania.
Pac Mania.
Pac Mania, yeah. I mean, on the 64 and the Amiga, and the Soccer Kid and the AGA version. So, what was the biggest difference between, you know, these kinds of things and then on the Amiga as well, and all the memory, all the graphics? Was it so much easier on the Amiga because you didn't have to squeeze everything in?
Yeah, I mean, Amiga, talk to Pete really, because he was the one that actually did the Amiga graphics, because he was an expert with a blitter chip and all that, and sprites. I wrote all the game logic, and we did it on the Spectrum first.
You're joking.
No,
yeah,
no, that's the way they wanted it. So
yeah,
and we did a Commodore version and a 64, and then an Amiga and ST.
Yeah.
ST had half a screen, because that's all you could scroll.
Right.
In a realistic time, you did the whole screen, it just slowed down too much.
Right.
I mean, one of the problems, these manufacturers, they never, apart from Commodore, they never intended their machines to be games machines. They sort of business machines, so they didn't bother with the graphics hardware and stuff. So, game logic, you can run it on just about anything. The graphics used to take all the CPU time up when you wanted to draw things, and you know, you got no hardware support.
Yeah, so at least on the Amiga there was a lot more CPU power.
Yeah,
than, you know,
absolutely. Well, I mean, the graphics blitter chip, it meant that you could just tell it to pull DMA stuff in from memory and stick it on the screen, and you know, that sort of thing. It's the sort of thing now we take for granted with these video cards and games consoles. But believe me, it was a much sought after thing back then.
Well, it's like Pac Mania. Do you code Pac Mania as for playability, or do you go for the arcade perfect quality graphics? So it's a compromise.
Yeah,
you can never get it.
I mean, the best version, in my opinion, of Pac Mania wasn't the Amiga version. It was the Acorn Archimedes version.
Right.
Because that was, I mean, that had a full screen as well. But it had bigger sprites.
Yeah.
Because everything was done in software, the screen scrolling, the sprite rendering, the sound, everything. And that thing, for its time, it was just amazing what you could do with the processor. You know, literally shift a full game screen around in about this much raster time, and lift all the other. And that's using hardware to move all the bits around, you know, the CPU to read all the bytes, scroll them and put them back.
That's right. Because Pac Mania, the main character stayed central and the entire world scrolled around it.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
A bit like, well, it's 2 a penny now on the consoles, but back then, you know, you had to scroll and make it smooth. I was thinking about designing something like Soccer Kid, the world's first and only football kind of action hero, where you had to balance yourself on a ball and use that as a weapon.
Well, that actually was an idea from the lad who was working as our musician, believe it or not, a lad called Matt Furness.
Oh yeah, Matt Furness, yeah.
He thought of it, and it was an idea that then developed. And it was originally football kit.
All right.
But because of the Americans, and they wanted to focus on them, trying to break into that market as well, they changed it to soccer kit.
Yeah, it was very huge, it was a massive game. I mean, thank God you included a save state feature in there and you could save it up.
Did you not think it was a bit too hard?
Yeah, very much, particularly on the Moscow level. You know, you got 2 lives, but the best levels was the bullet train for me. Really good, pity it's right at the end of the game. And the Wild West, really great graphics, really great colours, right at the end of the game. And basically, I had to cheat my way to get there because I just died.
It was playable.
Yeah.
I've seen people that are tested actually finish it. There was a bit of a disagreement, you know, friendly disagreement with Peter and myself that he could play the thing, but mere mortals used to have a bit of trouble with it, you know.
Yeah.
And I think we lost a bit of kudos because of the difficulty level. We didn't pitch it right, I don't think. But that's just an opinion.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just, I suppose a few more lives would have done. You know, you have the save feature, that's all. Really great graphics, really unique playability. You know, it's a platform action kind of fighting game.
Yeah,
Really unique. Like Whiz Ball, something really far out there. Whereas these days you shoot a few guys and drive a few cars.
I keep looking at. I don't play many games at the moment, but you know, I mean, if I play any, it's usually on a tablet.
On the emulator.
Computer. Rather than on my PC. You know, that's just work and stuff really.
It's so much easier these days. I mean, it's so much quicker to load as well. Tapes. You know, it's just up there.
It's like when you see videos of your old games on YouTube and that, they always never look as good as they did when they were running on the hardware.
Yeah.
You know, some of this stuff now, it's incredible, but you know, I think without that video hardware, even today, most people wouldn't be able to get anything substantial out of it. I think I would, because of what I've done in the past, but you know.
It just feels so much easier these days, even though it's designed by a committee and it's so much longer. It just feels like, well, you can do it in 3D, you can do, you know, you're not limited by 2D bit play.
That's right. I mean, that's something I always had a bit of trouble with, you know. Because I left the business in 2001, and everything was mainly with clipboards, and couldn't make their mind up what they wanted. And, you know, we just became a mechanism for turning their ideas into code. You know.
Yeah, their ideas.
Yeah. You didn't have any chance to put your own ideas into your games or whatever you're working on. You just, this is what we want, this is what you will do. And it was like, but then when you did it, they didn't, oh no, I don't like that.
So, and what do they know about gaming, you know?
I mean, maybe modern programmers maybe don't know. You're a programmer, you know how to turn things into code to do things. You might not be a good gamer.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he was far better an ideas man for games than I was, really.
Well, you were his boss, were you? Were you chief kind of...
Gremlin, we were kind of peers. I was slightly.
Yeah.
Just because I'd done a lot of engineering with all the development systems and stuff. That's the only reason I got there. I mean, that was my good thing. I wrote all the development software for Krisalis originally. I mean, I've done things like I used to design memory boards and graphics things for like Sega Master System and Game Gear and stuff, you know.
Wow.
And we did a lot of music. You know, I wrote a lot of music drivers for various consoles and stuff. I always like to do things that are different and easy, not so easy, and things that other people hadn't done.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think it's better if you break new ground. If it's a really big breakthrough, then you get full recognition for it.
I mean, you're just doing game code all the time. I just got a bit bored with it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you've got to be interested, you've got to be excited in it. There's still an Amiga community and the 64 community still producing games to this day, just because they want to, and writing about games, reviewing games.
I mean, I've got an idea about something I've been wanting to do for 20 years, and it's on my bucket list.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to write it before I, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 57 now, you know, it's... I mean, I was 27 when I went to Gremlin. It's like 30 years ago.
Incredible.
Like August. Hang on. No, it'll be 30 years next in January, I think.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm 38, So, you know, I was 8-year-old when I got my first computer and all that. You know, most of these were Gremlin games. I remember the 10-pack Gremlin 10-pack.
Oh yeah.
The Football of the Highway Encounter and all that. But the Monster games and things like that.
When they were wandering around, but they look at a game console and it's that up there.
Yeah, they're all. Anyway, great to speak to you.
Yeah, and you.
I've just reviewed, like I said, 2 video games. I didn't put Lemon Amiga, like Pac Mania, a soccer kid, didn't come up with my review.
Oh, right, I'll have a look.
And it comes with the history.
What's your name?
Well, I'm the wife's school, but if you type the Lemon Amiga in
Oh yeah.
review, there you go. So I hope I've got your name right.
I think he's used to it. Surely, yeah.